So a few housekeeping items before we get started. You are muted, so please use the raise your hand feature provided by Teams and you'll be recognized to speak. You will have to unmute yourself to speak. We'll be pausing throughout the presentation for discussion. So welcome to today's presentation on moral awareness. Have you ever found yourself faced with a difficult decision that made you question what was right or wrong? Moral awareness plays a significant role in how we make decisions and interact with others. Moral awareness is like having an internal compass that guides us towards decisions that align with our values. This training aims to help you develop a better understanding of moral awareness and how it affects the decisions we make. So let's get started by exploring the definition of moral awareness. Moral awareness is the ability to recognize and understand ethical issues and dilemmas. Moral awareness is the first step to acting ethically. It emphasizes the importance of paying attention to our principles and values and the potential impact our actions can have on others. When we understand our values and how our choices can affect people, we can make good decisions, build good relationships, and make the world a better place. So we're going to watch a video that introduces moral awareness.
Many of the Concepts Unwrapped videos use the research generated by the new field of behavioral ethics to illustrate how difficult it can be to do the right thing, even for people who are good folks. A desire to please authority or to fit in with the group may cause people to act inconsistently with their own moral values. For example, the slippery slope can cause people to fail to notice lapses in moral judgment made by themselves or others. The list goes on, but the underlying lesson is clear. It's not easy to always be a good person, even if you want to be. But behavioral ethics can also give us guidance as to how to act more ethically and induce others to do so too. According to Professor James Rest, there are 4 key steps to acting ethically, which we have modified slightly. First, people must perceive the ethical dimensions of an issue that they face. This is moral awareness. Second, they must have the ability to decide upon a course of action that is ethical. This is moral decision-making. Third, they must have the desire to act on that ethical decision. This is known as moral intent. Fourth, and finally, they must have the motivation and courage to act upon that desire, which we call moral action. This video explores the first step to being your best self, which means developing moral awareness.
I think the important thing is to recognize that there's always an ethical issue. There's always an ethical dimension to any decision that we make.
Absent moral awareness, people might accidentally make the right choice, but they might also accidentally make an unethical choice because they're focusing upon other aspects of the decision calculus and inadvertently omitting any ethical considerations.
I've made some gut decisions with my gut that have had unintended consequences like down the road in my personal life, where I feel like in a relationship with someone, I can sense that they may not be true to me and may not being faithful and honest about all of their intentions, and I ignore it because what I want in the moment is more important to me than standing up and saying like, this isn't right. It's really easy to do that in like a personal situation because you think that like I can sacrifice like future pain for like present happiness, which I think definitely has parallels in the workplace.
Studies on selective attention prove that people generally see what they expect to see. If you focus too much on pleasing your boss, on getting along with your coworkers, on meeting sales quotas or bonus targets, you may not even see an ethical issue, which is right there in front of you. The phenomenon that Professors Bazerman and Tenbrunzel call ethical fading, and Drumright and Murphy call moral myopia, can blind all of us to ethical miscues if we're not careful.
For this marketing and advertising class we had to do a campaign, and I personally am really against, I'm against some of the ads that are out there because I feel like it depicts one centralized image of what beauty or what beautiful is. So one of our ads was with a group, and of course all the guys were like, "Oh, Megan Fox is so hot, we need to put her on the cover." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And later on, I was thinking about it, and I was wondering, why didn't we just use someone from our, like a normal average girl from our class? Like that's still, I feel like, the same level of beauty, and it would portray to other people that there's not just one centralized image or one certain aspect of what beauty is.
It is our responsibility, as people who wish to live ethical lives, to keep ethics in our frame of reference. We can do so by reminding ourselves every morning in the shower that we wish to be good people, and that to meet that goal, we must constantly strive to act ethically, just as we must constantly strive to gain more knowledge and skill regarding the technical aspects of our jobs. Looking out for ethical minefields is part of our personal and professional responsibility every day.
When I was in the Marines, when I was in the Middle East, we had word that there was going to be a car bomb that was headed towards our base. Someone came by that matched most of what we had, but didn't match everything. Even though a lot of people were convinced that this was the guy and that our situation was solved and that we caught the car bomber, something in my gut had me thinking otherwise. So I spent about 12 hours that day digging, and come to find out it wasn't him. Definitely a case of my boss saying, "All right, you've got it, let it go. We've hit the 80% solution." And in this case, 80% solution was not ethical.
Behavioral ethics teaches that we must practice listening to our moral intuition, to our gut, rather than turning all ethical discussions into legalistic exercises, like lawyers weighing both sides of the issue, or accountants parsing technical language in an attempt to justify a position that intuition tells them is wrong. Our gut instinct is not always right, but we would be foolish to ignore it. Psychologists DeSteno and Valdesolo say this: when faced with a moral decision, take a few seconds to pause and listen to your inner voices. Is there a hint of guilt, a hint of shame, a gut feeling of unease? If so, don't ignore it. This is your moral awareness awakening.
We're not meant to follow blindly the ideals of any system, but to seriously inquire about how they apply to our lives, our ever-changing world, and how they apply to the people, the organizations, institutions that we work with.
Explaining that gut feeling and helping other people feel that gut feeling helped them empathize with me and give me the time that I needed to get to the right conclusion.
Sometimes our gut feelings are a good indication that something wrong is going on, and it is hard to decipher when you should be listening more to your gut and when you should be doing more rational thinking.
If you have a feeling that it's not the right thing, make sure you keep working until it is.
So now that we have an understanding of the definition of moral awareness, let's shift our focus to how to develop moral awareness. 1, self-reflection. Consider what's important to you and why. Ensure your actions align those values and make changes if necessary. Review your past choices for their ethical impact. 2, educate yourself. Read about ethical principles to better understand moral issues and make choices that respect others' well-being. 3, seek feedback. Ask for advice from people you trust to improve your ethical decisions and identify any areas you may have overlooked. Be open to constructive criticism and view it as an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. 4, act with integrity. Always act ethically, even when it's hard to maintain your values and be a role model for ethical behavior. By consistently acting with integrity and aligning your actions with your values, you can develop a heightened sense of moral awareness. 5, practice empathy. Put yourself in other people's shoes. Consider their thoughts, feelings, and experiences, and how your actions may impact them. By showing empathy, you can better understand how your actions affect others and make more ethical choices. 6, reflect on ethical challenges. Take time to regularly reflect on past decisions and their outcomes. Consider what you did well and where you could have acted differently from an ethical perspective. Use these reflections as an opportunity to learn and enhance your moral awareness and improve your ethical decision-making skills. 7, stay ethically vigilant. Be proactive and vigilant in addressing ethical issues as they arise. Pay attention to the warning signs of unethical behavior in yourself and others, and take appropriate action to address them. Moral awareness is an ongoing process that requires self-reflection, learning, and growth. These steps, practiced consistently, will build your moral awareness and help you navigate ethical challenges more effectively. Having explored ways in which we can develop moral awareness, let's focus on some of the benefits of cultivating it. Moral awareness has many benefits, one of which is ethical decision-making. It enhances your ability to make ethical decisions by helping you evaluate your choices, weigh different values and principles, and make informed decisions aligned with your moral compass. Preventing unethical behavior. Heightened moral awareness acts as a safeguard against unethical conduct, helping you avoid compromising your integrity and violating ethical principles, thus upholding standards and fostering ethical behavior. Building trust and integrity. Consistently demonstrating integrity and adherence to ethical principles earns the trust of others. Trust is essential for fostering meaningful relationships, promoting collaboration, cooperation, and positive interactions. Ethical leadership. Ethical leaders set the tone for an organization. They can inspire ethical behavior in others and help cultivate an ethical culture. Organizations that prioritize moral awareness often foster an environment where employees feel respected, valued, and motivated to uphold ethical standards. Moral awareness extends beyond distinguishing right from wrong. It emphasizes good decision-making, trustworthiness, and fostering positive environments for collective growth. Ethical decision-making and moral awareness are closely interconnected. Ethical decision-making is a process that helps individuals navigate complex situations and make choices that align with their values and ethical principles. Ethical decision-making is not always straightforward and may involve situations where there is no right or wrong answer. It encompasses honesty, integrity, fairness, and respect for the dignity and rights of all individuals involved. So now we're going to look at the components for ethical decision-making. 1, recognize the ethical issue. Identify conflicts between values, principles, or obligations, and the potential impact of the decision. 2, gather information. It is important to collect relevant facts, understand the context, and explore different perspectives in order to gain a better understanding of the situation. 3, evaluate options. Different options should be evaluated, taking into account ethical principles, potential outcomes, and how they may affect stakeholders. 4, make a decision. Select the option that aligns most closely with ethical standards and personal values. 5, take responsibility. Be accountable for the decision made and be prepared to address any consequences that may arise. By incorporating these components into the decision-making process, both individuals and organizations can navigate ethical dilemmas with integrity and responsibility. So now that you have an understanding of the components of ethical decision-making, let's explore the benefits of ethical decision-making. Enhanced reputation and trustworthiness. Prioritizing ethical behavior helps individuals and organizations gain the trust and respect of others, leading to stronger relationships and increased credibility. Improved relationships and teamwork. Ethical decision-making fosters an environment of mutual respect, fairness, and cooperation. When choices align with ethical principles, it promotes positive relationships, effective communication, and collaborative teamwork, leading to a harmonious and productive work environment. Reduce legal and ethical risks. By considering the moral implications of actions and adhering to legal and regulatory requirements, individuals and organizations can avoid costly legal disputes, reputation damage, and potential financial penalties. Increased employee engagement and loyalty. Ethical organizations prioritize ethical decision-making, creating a positive work culture that values integrity, fairness, and transparency. This culture attracts and retains dedicated employees who contribute to the organization's success, enhancing employee engagement and loyalty. Ethical decision-making is crucial for individuals and organizations as it leads to positive outcomes and contributes to an ethically responsible society. While ethical decision-making provides numerous benefits, it's not without its challenges. Moral awareness plays a crucial role in addressing those challenges. We are going to discuss some common challenges in ethical decision-making that moral awareness can help you overcome. The first is conflicting values. Ethical decision-making can be challenging when individuals hold different values or principles that are in conflict. It requires careful consideration and prioritization of values to determine the most ethical course of action. Next is limited information. Moral awareness prompts individuals to seek additional information and consider potential ethical implications. It encourages individuals to ask questions, gather relevant facts, and make decisions based on the best information available. Followed by uncertainty. Ethical decision-making often involves navigating uncertain or ambiguous situations. Predicting the outcomes or determining the best course of action may be challenging when the potential consequences are unclear, making it difficult to make confident ethical judgments. Another challenge is emotional biases, which can distort ethical decision-making by clouding judgment and influencing choices. Emotions such as fear, anger, or empathy can influence judgment and lead to biased reasoning. By taking a step back, considering the situation rationally, and basing decisions on ethical principles rather than emotional impulses, individuals with moral awareness can make more informed choices. By recognizing and understanding these challenges, you can better equip yourself to make informed decisions that best align with your values and principles.
We would now like to present a case study that highlights moral awareness. You should have received the case study, A Million Little Pieces, with your registration. So, James Frey is an American businessman and writer. The controversy surrounding James Frey's memoir titled A Million Little Pieces highlighted a lack of moral awareness in his approach to writing and publishing his memoir. Published in 2003, the book was marketed and initially presented as a memoir, recounting Frey's struggles with addiction and his ultimate recovery. In 2005, the book was selected for Oprah's Book Club, in part for the inspiring and supposedly true story of Frey's overcoming addiction. The publicity from the Oprah Winfrey Show sparked strong sales for the book, which topped bestseller lists in the following weeks. However, in 2006, it was revealed that substantial portions of the book were exaggerated or fabricated. The controversy began when The Smoking Gun, a website specializing in investigative reporting, published an article exposing inconsistencies and falsehood in Fry's memoir. Critics argued that Fry had knowingly presented fiction as fact, blurring the line between memoir and novel. Many readers felt deceived and betrayed as they believed they were reading a true account of Fry's experiences. By embellishing the truth, he may have believed that he was enhancing the emotional impact of the story and making it more marketable. However, this approach disregarded the foundational principle of memoir writing, to provide an authentic and truthful account of personal experiences. The fallout demonstrated the repercussions of lacking moral awareness. Fry faced widespread criticism and lost credibility as an author. In response to the controversy from the book, Fry appeared on various talk shows and acknowledged he had embellished certain events in his memoir. He defended his actions by stating he had written the book as a work of literature and that the emotional truth of his experience was more important than strict adherence to factual accuracy. The fallout over the controversy led Oprah Winfrey, who had previously selected the book for her book club, to publicly confront Fry on her show. She expressed her disappointment in him and later invited her viewers to participate in a discussion about the ethics of memoir writing. The controversy surrounding A Million Little Pieces sparked a broader conversation about the boundaries of creative nonfiction and the importance of truthfulness in memoirs. It raised awareness about the need for authors to be transparent about the distinction between factual events and fictional elements of their work. Ultimately, the controversy highlighted the significance of moral awareness in memoir writing. While memoirs are subjective accounts of personal experiences, authors have the responsibility to their readers to present an honest portrayal of events. This requires carefully navigating the line between storytelling and truth-telling. Failing to do so can undermine the trust between the author and the audience and can have significant repercussions for the author's reputation and the genre of memoir writing as a whole. This memoir controversy serves as a cautionary tale, reminding writers of the significance of moral awareness in their craft. By embracing moral awareness, writers can maintain the credibility of their work and preserve the trust of their audience. Now we have a few questions for you based off the case study. So our first question is, how did James Fry's memoir controversy surrounding A Million Little Pieces raise questions about the author's moral awareness? I can go. I think the biggest question it raised, he fabricated and exaggerated personal elements of his personal story. I think that called into question his moral awareness because he felt like it enhanced his story and helped get his message across. But his audience felt that those fabrications actually were detrimental to his memoir and took away from his message. It also raised questions about memoir writers' responsibility to accurately represent their experiences.
And DJ, I did allow your microphone, so now if you do want to speak, all you have to do is unmute yourself.
Okay, thanks.
So our next question is, how will you ensure that ethical concerns or principles are taken into account when making decisions or evaluating situations? And with this one, I think it's important that you educate yourself, you reflect on your values, you consider the consequences of your actions, you seek diverse perspectives, you consult ethical guidelines, and then you regularly assess your actions and the consequences of those actions. So for our third question, we actually have a quick poll that we're going to pull up on screen. So think about the last time that your gut told you not to do something. Was it right or wrong? And if you just take a quick second to answer, we'll talk about it. So as you can see from our poll, everyone answered that they felt that the last time that their gut told them something to not to do something, that it was right. That was 100% of our responses. And I think that's good in moral awareness. It's important that you trust your gut. And I think our answers show that when we trust our gut and listen to it, that it typically leads us down the right path. So now we'll move into our takeaways. In order to help expand our moral awareness and become more ethical leaders, we should continuously develop moral awareness through self-reflection and learning, seek diverse perspectives, and engage in open dialogue when facing ethical dilemmas, emphasize ethical leadership, and foster an organizational environment that values ethics and integrity. Understand that ethical decision making is a continuous process that requires ongoing commitment and effort. By embracing these takeaways, you can make informed ethical decisions that align with your values, positively impact others, and contribute to a more ethically responsible society. So, does anyone have any questions? All right. Well, thank you for attending our moral awareness presentation. We put this on in support of Ethics Awareness Month, which runs through March. If you have any questions or anything after this meeting, you can feel free to contact myself or Tashina, and we'll be happy to answer those. Do you have anything to add, Tashina? Thank you for attending today.
Thanks, DJ.
Thank you, guys.